We've talked to you about some of the myths in relation to strangulation. And in this last episode covering this topic, we want to talk to you about the physiological consequences of strangulation. We're also going to cover some of the things regarding trauma and other things in relation to it. But I have a question. Did you know that strangulation with the pressure of just a firm handshake can result in death in 1 to 3 minutes? Let's talk about it. I'm Dr. Debbie Lassiter, the Executive Director and co-founder of the Convergence Resource Center, and I'm here with my colleague.
Hi, I'm Carla McKeever, co-founder and CFO for Convergence Resource Center, and as always, welcome to the conversation.
We're going to look at some of the physiological consequences of strangulation, and I am going to say, just as a reminder, because sometimes we don't do it, please get the little ones out of the room. If they're in the room with you listening to this, this isn't one we really want them to hear. So, starting out, yes, the pressure of a firm handshake in relation to strangulation could result in death in 1 to 3 minutes. Not a lot of time. Not a lot of time.
Wow.
In 5 to 10 seconds.
5 to 10 seconds?
In 5 to 10 seconds, you can lose consciousness. So I know people are thinking it's a long time, you struggling and fighting all that. 5 to 10 seconds, you can lose consciousness.
Wow.
All right? And then there is, in 15 seconds, you can lose control of your bladder. And we don't want to talk about these things. You don't see this on TV. They make it seem all pretty and sexy, and it's not pretty or sexy, right?
Right.
In 15 seconds, you've lost control of your bladder.
Wow.
Right? Now just think, if they're doing it to you over and over again, you could be losing control of your bladder over and over again. And then in 5 to 10 more seconds, petechia can take place. And petechia is when you get those little tiny dots.
Oh, in your eyes.
Yeah, that can appear like on the skin or the eyes. And what this really is burst blood capillaries, right? And they're caused by the block of the blood flow. So by the time you start seeing them, blood flow is already being blocked.
Wow.
I think this is scary. Even if you were the one choking a person and you start seeing these little dots in their eyes, wouldn't that make you want to stop? But we're only 5 to 10 seconds in.
That's insane.
Isn't it?
That's insane. I mean, and they don't show you that.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't.
Just, people think it's just pleasure or whatever. Yeah, they think it's pleasure and we're just going to be doing, this is what we're going to be doing. But there's so many, this right here, that's crazy.
Oh, that's nothing. In 30 seconds, half a minute, 30 seconds, you lose control of your bowels. So not only if this 30 seconds, halfway through this, you lost control of your bladder. 15 more seconds, you lose control of your bowels.
Wow. And
in 1 to 3 minutes, you are dead.
Well, I mean, all of this really just goes all the way back to what we always, what we're here for is like trauma.
That's trauma.
Because this is exactly what it does. I mean, if you're losing the loss of your bladder, your bowels, I mean, that is definitely how trauma, because being strangled is trauma. Trauma to your whole body.
It is.
And how it attacks you. It says it can affect your body, triggering stress responses. Even afterwards, all of these things can happen to you where your whole system is out of whack.
Wow.
Because your body tries to react and correct things, but as it's doing that, it's changing things inside your body.
And then you remember, like, if this is a trafficking situation, Imagine the level of humiliation that is happening right now.
Yeah.
Inside of these 30 seconds. Then all that trauma is going on. And then they revive you so they can do it again.
Yeah, I don't know how that even, how your body can, it's like trauma after trauma after trauma. So, okay, you went through it. Oh, I'm back again. Oh, you're going through it again. Now I'm back again. And so your body physically has to respond to that.
Yes, yes, it does.
Your body really has to respond to that. And so it's trying to right you, make your body right. But in the meantime, it's messing up everything within you, your nervous system.
Yes.
And what I think we talked about on the last episode, like the myths and your memory and how you even respond to different situations.
Yes.
I think our last guest was saying that about people coming up too close to her.
Yes.
That's trauma. That's something that's like PTSD.
Yeah.
So, and when you have PTSD and all the things that come with that, you actually have a higher mortality rate than anyone else because your body is constantly that fight or flight. I mean, your body's going back and forth. We weren't meant to be doing that. No. Our bodies were not meant for that.
And then, they added a third one. It's fight, flight, or freeze.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the freeze.
Because you will just lock up. And can you imagine a person that has gone through this standing in a crowded elevator? All the things that we take for granted that you can do. Standing in a crowded elevator and a person standing behind them completely unbeknownst that they have this, and that person moves their hand in a way that looks like they're reaching for their throat. And they have to constantly say to themselves, no, it's okay, don't move. It's all right. It's not him. It's not her. They're not coming, or standing in a grocery line or a line to check out somewhere. The person behind you is standing too close. And just think of how irritated people get. When you turn around and want to ask them to back up a little bit, you have no idea what that person may have gone through.
That's true. No, we don't know.
We don't.
We don't know.
We don't.
When someone is easily agitated, you go, what's wrong with them? And it's all of these things that has happened to them, which has made them irregular. So the way that we would respond to something or that hasn't experienced that trauma is different than those that respond. So it could be any little thing. You think someone skipped you in line, or you just little things. I think they're all the news that we're hearing about these, we're like, what? Why did that happen? And we're hearing the responses to these things. I don't know, it keeps coming to mind is, I think something happened in the city and there was a shooting and over some type of food. I mean,
the meatballs.
Yeah, the meatballs.
At the wedding.
But I'm just, I didn't want to say, but I was trying to scoot around it. Yeah, I didn't know how to scoot around it. But, you just think, what? We're thinking what? But all the things that could have happened that led up to that and that we don't know about.
Right.
And this is what this is talking about, how trauma can actually affect your whole body. But, also other things affect it as well. But right now we're just talking about the trauma affecting
From strangulation.
Yeah. Your sleep patterns change.
Yes. And, many people don't realize it, but traffickers strive to control your sleep patterns. They keep you up when everybody else is asleep. And you sleep when everybody else is up. So, or if they got some work they want you to do for days and days and days, you may not sleep for 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 or 5, right? And what survivors have told us is that many times when they are so exhausted like that and they don't feel like they can take another step, that's when they'll get strangled. Because the trafficker wants to slap them back into doing what he wants them to do.
Right.
I don't know what kind of person does that.
An unstable person does that. that's trying to control you.
Mm-hmm.
We might say they're unstable, but these people are really smart. They know what to do. They know how to get you under control
Mm-hmm.
because the method has worked before.
Mm-hmm.
So like we were talking, what I was speaking on before about, you could strangle one person for 1 second, or you could strangle someone else for 3 seconds. 1 second, something happens to the person. 3 seconds, the next person, it might be a little longer. So, but they're still using the same methods. That's where I'm coming. That's where I'm headed to, is that they're using the same methods because they're tried and true to them.
Are there any other forms of trauma or psychological, physiological consequences you wanted to talk about?
Well, your immune system and inflammation.
Oh.
I mean, you get sick because your body is so out of whack.
Wow.
Yes. It says chronic stress from trauma can impair your immune function, making the body more vulnerable to infections and immune disorders.
Wow.
Yes.
I had no idea about that one.
Right. So it can lead to chronic pain, your gastrointestinal issues.
Yeah. What?
Your headaches, chest pain, and fatigue.
What?
Or someone's always dozing off, or someone's always tired, because also their sleep patterns are all off. I mean, long-term health consequences, the PTSD, and I'd already said how that they face a higher mortality rate and increased risk for chronic diseases. These things change your whole body makeup inside, because we're nothing but one big cell. And I think we've seen like different shows, how they show how the brain is always is controlling everything within us. So once things get changed that weren't meant to be changed, because it sets up confusion in your body. And I've even, one time I was under stress, and you're wondering what is going on. Why is all my hair falling out? Why is my face all peeling off? And why am I tired? What is going on with me? Why can't I remember? Why am I having this brain fog? And stress and trauma does all of that, where your memory goes in your body, because your body is changing.
I wonder if people who have experienced this are afraid to go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Because when you're strangled to unconsciousness, you got to be terrified when you come back, and terrified if it's happening again, that I might not wake up this time. I think it would have really, as you said, affect their sleep patterns in a way that they're afraid to go. Can you imagine? I'm afraid to go to sleep. Strangulation, folks, is no joke. No joke. And we really wish those of you who think it's a good idea would stop it. It's just not healthy. Is there anything else you wanted to share?
No, I'm just wanted to really say a few things on the strangulation, because the strangulation is trauma, and how all these things do affect our bodies. And you might not even know what's going on, but maybe we mentioned something that you might have noticed. And you're like, oh yeah, And I always wish people had someone to talk to, or to go to for help. And there are organizations, even like ours, that you can call and come in and discuss it,
get some help,
see what we can do, see how we can help. Because it doesn't seem to be a quick fix for anything. But the more that you work on it, your body does, and it is capable of righting itself.
Whew. Well, that was a lot of information, and this has been a very eye-opening topic, even for me, and covering it and finding out some of these things. 1 to 3 minutes.
That's 1
to 3 minutes.
I don't think anybody knows that. I don't think.
And you could be dead. 1 to 3
Yes.
minutes. Well, Carla, you want to say your famous line?
If you've enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and also leave remarks. I always say that. And, go to our website, www.convergenceresource.org, and subscribe to our newsletter.
Sure.
Watch some of the earlier episodes. I think we had a guest. If you're just seeing this and you haven't seen the rest, make sure that you dial it back and start from the beginning and see how we got to this subject.
Yes, yeah.
Also, don't forget about Triumph Rising, where Dr. Lassiter covers not only this subject, so you're not only going to hear about this, there's so many different things that she discusses, things that we just don't normally talk about.
Yeah.
And even what's going on today, different news articles and people that are on the news, like the meatball thing. But just make sure you tune in on Mondays at 12:30 p.m.
Yeah. We want to hear from you, folks. There's something you want us to cover, or if you have some comments about this, as many of you have been commenting along the way, and we appreciate those comments. Folks, we want to encourage you to stay safe. Pay attention to the people around you, not just your young people, but we got some adults that are in trouble with this thing as well. Don't be locked into looking for those marks around their neck. There's a lot of other stuff that could be going on. But just remember, in 1 to 3 minutes, they could be gone. So please reach out and get us some help. We thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to another little conversation.
The Convergence Resource Center provides comprehensive support services to women rebuilding their lives after trauma, with a focused emphasis on survivors of human trafficking and justice-involved women. Convergence Resource Center supports women on their journey of healing and restoration after trauma, with a special focus on survivors of human trafficking and women impacted by the justice system. For more information about the Convergence Resource Center and how you can get involved, visit us online at www.convergenceresource.org.